Okay, so now I've realised that my mic isn't set to the wrong channel. There we go. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of the custard persuasion. So my name is Dodoc Saberfrenzies, and welcome back to Copy Kitty. So, I didn't end up uploading World 5 over the last few days because I had slowdown issues whilst I was recording, so I thought, we'll give it another shot. And then we'll just upload the results, let's just see what happens. So, let's dive into World 5, the factory. So, this is basically where the game really starts to punish you for your mistakes. Because there are a lot of stage hazards here. And the enemies are exceedingly annoying. And Boki's power to say fuck you to doors has been officially acknowledged here. So, because we're in the factory, let's stick with the factory theme and use lightnings. Because we can all use a good bit of lightning in our lives. And by use, I mean use it to power the computer on which I'm recording this. So it's exceedingly useful. And this is what I don't like because it spews globules of light. Ooh, very nice purple effect. It spews globules of lightning at you, and so really, is this actually necessary? And the game informs you that yes, it actually is necessary, because you need to suffer like the rest of us. See, suffering. Damn. No, well, it doesn't actually count if you take damage after the level's finished, but still, it's the principle of the thing. Okay, so let's shoot these kids, because I want your lightning. So, and yeah, so this is where we're going to see a lot more of the gear type enemies. Where their entire purpose in life is to simply, throw gears at you. Which is a lot more frustrating than it has any right to be. There we go. Orbital laser. Let's get stuck in a corner, shall we? Let's laser it up, bitches. Totally worth it. The only problem with orbital lasers is the targeting can be a bit patchy. Small problem. Anyway, so yeah, so we're in the world of lightning, which I like. Lightning is one of my favourite weapons. I already have full ammo. Why am I picking up? Do you mind? Why am I picking up more lightning when I have maximum lightning? Will I ever actually learn to not do that? Every time I kill one of those supernova gits, then they immediately just like, oh, by the way, we're going to revenge kill you. Ah, thank you. I don't know what I'm going to do without this gift. I'm actually quite glad the hatch shut them, otherwise we would have had a sticky situation. And at least I took less damage from that than I do if I actually get when I actually get spanked by the whatchamacallits, by the afterblast. And it says if you get slapped by the afterbirth, then it's like, hang on, that's not entirely right, is it? Anyway, will you stop opening and closing doors? There we go. Death. And yes, the recording will be chugging like crazy for this one. There's no two ways about it. The recording will not like this. Yeah, boys, we just broke a generator. Let's keep going. Let's destroy more things. Banana has destroyed a power station. Do not let her advance any further. It's the leader of the construct. But it's not a cyber. It's not a cyber. Because ultimately, this is the explanation why we won't see the cybers. They are still people, they're more than just robots, so you can't simulate them. Which I like, in a way. I actually rather like the explanation for that, because it makes a great deal of sense. which is something that there's a lot of games these days where you're just playing them and say, well, why does this happen? And it's, well, because the plot demands it. Couldn't the plot come up with a better reason than this? No. No, it couldn't. It's plot holes. But then again, this is a fairly simple game. Plot holes hopefully shouldn't be a part of this. And the devs have done a ridiculous amount of work on the backstory for this game. I mean, a truly redonkulous amount of it. Damn. So yeah, I mean, they did a truly redonkulous amount of world building for the game. Because if you end up checking out their Tumblr, if any of you are brave and or stupid enough to venture to Tumblr, then there's a lot of extra material there. It's about the different planets that it takes place on, or sometimes in, depending on which world we're in at the time. And some backstories on some of the characters. It's quite cool. It's quite cool. Although I've not read all of it, truthfully. And this bit just kind of makes me imagine all of the constructs as like the Igors from Discworld. I'm just nick a body part and stitch it back on. I see no problems here. This is a perfectly good use of resources. You're wasting them. I need bounce. I don't care if I have to take damage to get it. I want to very definitely kill this fucker before he has a chance to start biting me. There we go. Realistically, I do actually suspect it's quicker to kill all the essential marked enemies just using the regular weapons rather than using the tank. Simply because whilst the tank is very powerful and it has a lot of health, it's not really very maneuverable. Which can be a bit of a problem. It can be eine kleine Probleme, which is the language that you use if you're from everywhere. Well, yes. Let's go swimming in the lava. Can anybody see any problems with this? I certainly can't. Spiral diver, you've been down too long in the night sea. Oh, what's become of me? God, I'm getting way too close to dying here. I'm so glad that I actually killed you, otherwise I'd be kind of scared. I don't particularly want to die like for the first time in World 5 of all places. There we go. Okay, so perhaps it's not quicker. Whatever, I'm just crap at this level apparently. So let's have some fun by shooting clockwork robots with plasticine. I walked right into that one. If any of you have a problem with this, then play the game yourself, I suppose. And there's nothing compelling you to watch me. Hey, I can see you down there, you know. Die. All of you just die. Please, quickly. Note to self, Dodoc, you can roll underneath obstacles. But yeah, so I ended up doing some recording of World 5 a couple of days ago, and it just kind of didn't work out very well. And simply because I think I just had too much running in the background. It just absolutely demolished my frame rate. And there's a lot of stuff that happens on screen, so when the game starts jittering and then OBS starts recording the game jittering, then it's just a mess. It really does just become a mess. Can I actually? No. Damn. I thought I could get wave out of that one for a second. Wait. And also, on a cool little side note, if you use lightning in water, then it turns the lightning red, rather than its usual colour. I think it's pretty awesome. And that signifies that it gets a power up as well, which is rather useful. That's enough for using... Really? It's enough of using just lightning. Let's use the shockwave. Less of a shockwave as more bubbles, bubbly, bubbly, bubbles that, you know, happen to destroy practically everything in sight. It's a bouncing lightning split shot. I have no problems with this whatsoever. Now, the only problem with the bounce weapon is when you're using the projectiles, then the bounce things all come to the surface, which makes it a tad frustrating to use. Whatever. One nice lightning shot to finish it off. And all the water's gone.
Idiots! Another power station has been sabotaged. Need I remind you that if our production lines are stopped, it will jeopardize our entire plan? Protect the main reactor with everything you have.
He's extremely angry about this. I think he's just very much an enemy of corporate espionage. I think that's what it is. So he doesn't want the production line stopping, because then people can inspect the production lines and steal all the ideas. Anyway, so now we've got this wanker. Probably the best, the politest word I can use for it. It's one of the more difficult mid-bosses in normal mode. Simply because, you know, it's very, you know, well, it's obviously the factory thing. Nearly forgotten that bit. Well, there goes that plan. So it's, you know, obviously it's in the factory, so you've got all these buzzsaw blades going on. You've got the, you've got the GG weapon right here. But then you've got the saw blades, the conveyor belts trying to throw you into the saw blades. And you use lightning. The enemy uses supernova. You've got those taser things, and it's just... Ugh. It is tricky. It is very tricky. That mid-boss is definitely a wake-up call. Now, let's see if we can demolish this one as quickly as I ended up accidentally doing before. Okay, yeah, no. Actually, let me retry this one. I want to see if I can do the run as quickly as I did last time, because that was absolutely hilarious, because I just kind of cleared the entire thing in 9 seconds flat. 10 seconds. Oh well. Oh well. It would have been cool if I managed it, but sadly not. Okay, so let's get on to the next, you know, shaped level. All I want is for you all to die. I don't want to play shooting fish in the barrel. Actually, no. Kinda place that. Although, actually, mind you, that being said, can I have this back, please? I'm gonna show you a rather cool weapon. Oh, bugger. No, I'm not. Never mind. I am not going to show you a cool weapon. Let's. I keep forgetting that they're immune to being kicked. It's a very frustrating defense for them to have. But yeah, so let's use this. Remote controlled swords. Use the force loop. Yeah, the remote controlled swords. It's very cool. It's very cool. It's, honestly, I love that weapon far too much. If you just listen to the sound it makes. Hang on, let me just pull this back. Let me see what happens if I hit an enemy with it. Okay. This is good to get swipe. sort of noise. It's a lightsaber. You are attacking with a lightsaber. That is all you need to know. Note to self. Enemies that create electric fences can generally be painful to touch. Alright, so let's send these homing rounds in here. Phantasmo. Right, so where's the... Oh, sure. Let's get Plasma Buster again. Just generally one of the better weapons you can come across, is Plasma Buster. Oh wait, no, I know where all three of them are. They're hiding over here, aren't they? Yeah. Go away, robot sheep. Oh, helicopter sheep. Either one is... I keep doing this every time. It's like I've got some sort of magnet strapped to me that just draws me into the circular saws, honestly. Security drone smash. Don't really need to kill them, do I? Nope. Well, I do kind of want to get rid of... Wait. All of you. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the Prism Blade. Now, I remember last time I ended up in this corner, I ended up getting severely bullied by all the... Yeah. There we go. And the bullying begins. I'm getting severely bullied by all the enemies that were kind of standing over here. So let's move away from the nasty corner. So yeah. The Prism Blade, honestly. It's such a fantastic weapon. Just having sword fights with enemies with it just makes you feel like such a badass. I wonder if this could possibly be referencing something. I don't know. Every time. I don't know. I might have to double check at some point in the future. Probably by checking the TV Tropes page. That's how I find out all of my information. Will you stop that ridiculous nonsense? It's not like I'm asking for a lot. I'm just asking to not be sniped without warning. And also, how did you die? Not that I'm particularly complaining, I suppose. I'm just a bit confused. Yeah. It's a much more... God's sake. It's a much more aggressive death animation than I remember, actually. Before I go around and just casually destroy all the support struts, I remember that there's an enemy up here that wants to make a meal out of my face, so I shall oblige him. You know what? You can die too. All of you. Or possibly me. Oh, and you might have noticed as well, that little this little toolbox, that will release enemies, but only if you kill the appropriate number of marked enemies first. So I basically have to go in here, destroy all the supports in this high-tech reactor, because, you know, apparently it has building structures that can be defeated by people's feet. Mind you, they've got an excellent defense against intruders, and that defense is, you know, just flinging gears at them. It's very cunning. I would never have figured out the secret on that. You see, it's such an effective defense that even after I remind myself that I know of the defense, it'll still get me. Okay, there you go, I'm getting in position. Bye, frame rate. Bye. Let me go. Or have we? must have deployed a backup power source. Shh, it's the boss. Don't tell anyone. Now this is the start of what I like to call the babushka bosses, because in later levels and in later difficulties, then this boss will actually have several copies absorbed, so it becomes an even bigger and even more terrifying boss. It's some of the coolest bosses in the game. You end up using the creatures. Am I about to get... No, I'm not being toad just yet. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I'm hiding up here. Come on, come on. Damn it. Why didn't I kick you from behind? Look, would you kindly stand in places where I can shoot you? Like, just a little bit. A little bit. Doesn't have to be all the time, just a bit. I mean, at least I'm not getting all kinky on you and whipping you to death like I did the last run through I did. Damn. God blast it. Oh, okay. Come on, Dodo. You're not losing to a dynamo Krejci of all things. If it was a burst Krejci, that'd be a slightly different story. Or even a later one. I might have to actually pretend to be good at platformers in a second. That'll be embarrassing. Oh no, I'll have to reveal my true skills. How many of those little buggers were all nested in one spot? There we go. I killed like 3 of them and then 4 and 5 popped out. There we go. Now we've got the factory. Or have we?
Useless minions. The banana has damaged our facility beyond repair. Abandon this place and contain her immediately.
So, what do you think we're going to do next, world? It's not looking good for our epilepsy-inducing child soldier. It is going to be, of course, a prison break. And we're going to start off in the next video in the execution chamber. Now, that's not an ominous video title. I don't know what's going to be. So my name's Dodoc Saber Frenzies, and I will see you in the next video. We'll be cracking on with World 6.